Hey guys, how's it going? Can you guys hear me? Hey, can you guys hear me? I'm curious. Sorry, got bad lighting in here today. I don't know what. How's everybody doing? Can you guys hear me? Okay, awesome. How's it going, Ryan? Um, just thought I'd jump on real quick. I'm editing videos and honestly, I'm just sick of it. I love doing the channel, but the editing is what really I'm just like over it. I wish I could have somebody just do it for me, but I'm not at that part level, I guess you could say yet. Um, Hope everybody's doing good. I thought I would just check in with all of you and maybe answer a few questions. I haven't done this in a while. So drop a question in the chat if you want to know something. As everybody knows, I just got back from a week week long trip, which kind of started at Lost Island in Iowa, Waterloo for Media Day for Fire Runner, and then I wound up at Six Flags St. Louis, and then made my way to Worlds of Fun in Kansas City, and then down to a Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri. And I spent 2 days at Silver Dollar City because it is one of my favorite parks. That and Dollywood are probably my two favorite parks in the U.S. I would probably say. Um, as we all know, there's a announcement of some sorts coming on Thursday for our park. Everybody is speculating that it is going to be a season pass announcement, but my whole take on that is they've released all that information to the public already in a press release. So for them then to re-release it in an announcement would not make sense. So my guess is we're going to get details on what's happening next year for the 50th anniversary, and that in turn will they hope will boost the season pass sales. So I would imagine it's probably something that's going to come out pretty early Thursday morning. So just keep an eye out for that. Let me see some of the questions here. Bagel, what do you mean slow mode? Oh, why is slow? I don't even know why that's on. Hold on 1 second. I don't think I can take it off now that I'm live. Sorry. I must have clicked that on by mistake. It's not letting me click anything. So, let's see. Great American Enthusiast. I kind of assumed that it was going to be Looney Tunes themed. I don't think that they would. After thinking about it more, I don't think that they would stray away from that, especially with it being the 50th anniversary of the park. As you know, the reason Six Flags has the Looney Tunes characters is because they bought Marriott's Great America, and when they bought Marriott's Great America, they in turn purchased that licensing agreement for Looney Tunes. So it would make sense that they would just keep it Looney Tunes. I'm wondering if we're going to get a Bugs Bunny National Park back. I'm just, I just, that would make the most sense. I don't know what else they would theme it to. God, I hope it's not DC and a DC expansion, but with Six Flags, you never know. So I guess we just have to wait until Thursday and find out. Mr. Six Flags, what did I like at Six Flags St. Louis? Um, I honestly probably I don't know what would be my favorite thing at Six Flags St. Louis. Probably have to say Mr. Freeze is probably my favorite coaster there. Um, and obviously they have their version of our Sky Striker is just themed to the Joker, so that obviously I'm for those of you that know, it's like one of my favorite rides ever. So that and I just like the overall atmosphere of the park. It's just because it's been around a lot longer. As you guys know, that park was the final park that they built from the ground up. So Six Flags Over Texas was the original park. They then built Six Flags Over Georgia, and then in 1970, was it 71? I think it was 71. They built Six Flags Mid America, and then it was renamed Six Flags St. Louis. So I just like the the, the hill, the fact that it's not a flat park, like it's hilly. They use the terrain with some stuff, so that's pretty cool. The train is great there. Um, they have a lot of different food compared to our park, and I hope it stays that way. Uh, They still have their JBs. The menu's a little different than ours, but basically the same kind of theming that we had when we had our JBs. Um, I don't know where this left off. Oh, da, 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 da. Valley Fair announced an announcement date on 31st. And if you pay attention, so here's another thing that I've noticed. Parks that are not getting stuff that we know for next year have already announced their passes. And that leads me to believe that Six Flags Magic Mountain's coaster has been delayed because Six Flags Magic Mountain is already selling their 2026 passes. And if that was the case, they would use that announcement of a new coaster to boost sales for next year's season passes. So that leads me to believe that Magic Mountain's coaster, along with Great Adventure, is also delayed. Obviously, they haven't even started construction on it yet. They've cleared land, but they haven't gone into the ground or done anything since the land was cleared. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. But, uh, and our park, obviously, we all know the passes haven't gone on sale yet because we are getting something next year. So then I'm curious as if Valley Fair, I don't know if anything was announced last year that they were going to be getting something this year or not, but um, just pay attention to that. Obviously, there's only a couple days away, but that's my theory on why our passes haven't gone on sale because they're waiting for the official announcement of next year's capital investment, which will then boost sales for those passes. And don't forget, you only have until September 1st. Once the passes go on sale, they include the all park passport. The wording is kind of weird. So we still don't know if after the sale ends, how that all park passport is going to then work if it's no longer going to include it. They're selling what they're calling fast lane, which people are freaking out that they're eliminating the our flash pass type where it's reserved and going to the Cedar Fair where you get a wristband and anybody can get in line at any time. It's not timed out. So sometimes at the bigger parks, their fast lane pass uh, wait times are just as bad because everybody's riding the ride at the same time. So I'm hoping they don't do that. And there is a little asterisk on the bottom of that when you look at the fast lane thing that says that in Six Flags parks, you do need a mobile device to use it. So I'm guessing that means they're keeping our fast and they're just going to name it fast lane. We'll have to wait and see. There's so many questions, so many questions. So we do know that the season drink bottle will, you'll now have an option to do the paper cup, so you don't have to lug a bottle around all the time. I know it's waste, but I hate lugging that drink bottle around with me. So, by all means, if they do the paper cup, I will be doing that option because that is, you don't have to worry about losing the bottle. You don't have to worry about it getting stolen. It's all that. You just go up and they scan your pass, and then they hand you a cup, and you get a refill. So hopefully, we'll get more information with that. Um, I did ride, Mr. Six Flags. I did ride Joker. It's felt the same as ours. My uh, trip report posted today, so if you guys want to check that out. Uh, but I thought it was the same. It didn't feel any different than ours. Catwoman was pretty awesome. It's pretty intense when when you're flipping. I think it depends on the weight on how the car is. I'm not exactly sure, but the ride that I was on, one of them, we flipped several times. I was kind of crazy. The two next to me were screaming their heads off. But it's a definitely a pretty intense ride. The only thing that I don't like about it, especially down there, I waited till later in the day to ride it because it was 98 degrees the day that I was at Six Flags St. Louis, and the humidity was totally unbearable. Um, as soon as I got out of the car, I just started sweating like crazy. So it was just a really uncomfortable day being in the park. But in the middle of the day, 98 degrees, tropical rainstorm, humidity going on, and when they unload the gondola, one of the gondolas is up in the air, so you're just stuck up in that blazing sun. So I wanted to wait until later in the day to get on to make sure that I didn't like overheat or melt up there because that would be really, really unbearable. But I really loved Catwoman. It's a great ride. It's the capacity sucks, but it's a great ride. Um let's see, where did it go? Yeah, Revolution. I didn't think actually surprised Revolution was at the park as long as it was. That ride was so old. That was a hand me down from Six Flags Great Adventure, so that it lasted as long as it did is crazy to me. And then they sold it, and it went to the park in Niagara Falls. So it's crazy that it's still in operation. Oh, let's see here. Da, 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 Alicia, and the water ride where Wrath is. Oh, uh, I don't Raymond Target. I don't think we're gonna I don't think any of the coasters at Six Flags America are gonna be saved. If any coaster, maybe super, I don't know. I just don't see them in moving them to other parks when the coasters are old, and I don't know. It's possible. I mean, obviously, Raging Cajun is just a carnival type coaster, so it can go anywhere. But I just don't see them with them trying to save money. I think it's just going to be either they're going to sell the park to another one, and the park will end up staying open and be renamed, or everything is demolished and taken down, and they whoever buys it just wants it for the land. So we'll just have to wait and see. The park, I think, officially goes on sale in a couple weeks, so that'll be interesting to see. Um, Great American Enthusiast. Yes, I get your mindset. Uh, I think they're gonna. I honestly, do- I honestly, and maybe I'm just hoping for the best, but I think there's a really good chance that are getting a small coaster next year, uh, of some type of a coma family coaster, whether it's a regular layout or a boomerang. I think we have the good possibility of them put giving us a coaster next year. And the reason I say that is anytime Cedar Fair has redone a kids area in their parks, they always give them some type of small coaster, whether it's like a little mine train or the family boomerang. So just keep that in mind. We may be actually surprised on Thursday, and hopefully everything is the announcement is for Thursday. So, uh, what are my thoughts on Wrath? I keep meaning to get that video out finally. I actually, you guys are probably all gonna laugh at this, but I have a construction update coming on Wrath of Rakshasa. And why would I have a construction update coming on Wrath? Because it's not done yet. The fact that it's gonna be August and that the coaster still isn't finished technically, all of it is theming and whatnot, but that's just crazy to me. So still hoping that the theming on the station gets finished. As we know from the past several days, people have been posting the lights are up on the lift hill finally. The speakers are up. Speakers have been going up in the queue. So it's only a matter of time before hopefully everything is up and working. For those of you that don't know, uh, newspaper in Seattle, Washington spoiled what the theming was supposed to be after the coaster opened, and it wasn't done. So I don't know if they were just given information by the park and they wrote a article about it, but the coaster stated that there would be sound going up the lift hill. There would be a roar right as the coaster dove, which makes sense. And then we know from what I had said before, and then there's still some big pieces of theming that are missing from the station. So hopefully, and then another crate kind of popped up by the where the statue is. So we know there's more stuff coming. I just hope it gets finished. Obviously, there's only a few weeks left for the park for daily operation, and then it's closed during the week, so they'll be able to get it done. So maybe by Fright Fest, everything will be working. Let's just cross our fingers. But I do have a review coming on the coaster. I need to get that out. I have a lot of video stuff that I'm working on. It's been hard with work has been a little busier than I anticipated, so I haven't really had a lot of time. And then obviously I went on this trip, so I'll get the videos out as soon as I can get the videos out. Obviously, you guys know this isn't my full time job, so I'm not doing this daily. I work on stuff when I have time away from my other job. So I have to be to work tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I'm not going to stay on too late here. But the Wrath review is coming. I also did a review video for Goliath, and I was working on one for Raging Bull. And then I have some from some coasters from other parks. And I do have a video coming, hopefully within the next couple of weeks, on something big possibly coming to the park. And that's all I'm going to say. Let's see here. Oh, Worlds of Fun is your home park. I didn't go to Oceans of Fun because the day I was there was storms in the area, and it was kind of. I mean, it was completely fine because it was so hot, and I could have went, but it was cloudy most of the day, and I wanted to stay in the park. That helped with the attendance because every ride in the dry park was walk into the station, and most even Mamba when I went on it, there was only enough people in line for half of the rows, and the other half were empty. So uh, it rained when I got to the park in the morning. It was like light rain. There was really big storms off to the west. They never moved in, but I think it just kept the people away, which is fine with me. But there was a lot of stuff that was closed, like foods and food shops and uh, regular shops were all closed that day. The coast? Oh, sorry if I'm jumping around on questions. Um, it's hard to keep track here. The chat, I wish the chat would just stay like where I leave the cursor, but when somebody types something new, it pops up to the top. So I lose my spot. Uh, After going to Magic Mountain, I prefer the flatter parks. Well, you would not like Silver Dollar City then, because I believe they hold the record for the steepest midways of any theme or amusement park in the world. There's one part of the park where you're probably walking close to a 45-degree angle down one of the midways. That's how steep it is. I remember being there the last time I was there, and a really bad storm came through, and we were at the bottom of where that hill was, and in a, like, restaurant area, we had just ordered food and then the storm came through, but I remember looking up at it and it looked like a waterfall because it was raining so hard, and the water was just all gushing down that, midway, and it looked like a raging river, and then as soon as it stopped raining, the midways cleared up, but and obviously you're in the Ozark Mountains, so, pretty steep, inclines on the, terrain there. I didn't feel like Magic Mountain was as bad as Silver Dollar City, so, let's see here. Wish they would bring a huge long coaster similar to Cedar Point. Huge long coaster similar to something like Cedar Point. I'm gonna say I have a video coming on that. I don't know when it'll be out exactly, but people's uh, prayers may be answered. That's all I'm gonna say at this point. Um Do you think the park will annex the land across from the side entrance when it becomes available? Bagel cheese, if you're talking about the property on the opposite side of Washington Street in the back, all that property is being developed already. There's an entertainment complex that's going to be going in there. I think they're going to have like a go-kart track, a movie theater, there's going to be shopping, but yeah, that's all going to be developed. I don't know when the project is supposed to start, but as far as I know, it's everything's been approved and they're going to go ahead with it. I think um the plan was to have everything open by 2027, so we'll have to wait and see. And that has nothing to do with Six Flags. It's a separate developer. Um, Great American Enthusiast, as I said before, I don't think the Flash Pass is going away because the way it's worded in the parks that are selling it, it still says that you'll need a mobile device at Six Flags parks. So I think they're just gonna drop the name and have it uniform across both chains now and just call it the fast lane, but I don't think it's our version of that will be changing per se. So we'll have to wait and see. Yes, paper cup option, Mr. Spider. I definitely enjoy that because like I said, you're not stuck worrying about if someone's going to steal your bottle on a ride or any carrying it, where you put it. So it's always nice. And I still don't know how to pronounce this your name, but Anthememes. Um, I have an answer for you in a video I have coming out about when the next major coaster is coming to the park. And yes, I do have inside information on it. And I, great American enthusiast, I can tell you it's not going to be 7 years. I Rusty, from my information that I received, the kids area is going to be replacing the go-karts, but that doesn't mean there won't be a coaster there. Obviously, it'll be a kids coaster, but um, the ki- the go-karts I think are this year. I think is the final season. I think last year meant for them to be the final season, but then they decided to keep it another year. And the reason I say that is last year they stopped selling season passes, and again, they're not selling season passes this year. So my whole thing is that's because they're not going to be open all the rest of the season. I think after the announcement, maybe they'll start doing put a construction fence up there and start doing some land clearing to get ready for the installation that we're going to get next year for the kids area. So we'll just have to wait and see. And Great American Enthusiast, a family boomerang like, at Kings Island would fit completely fine in the go-kart plot, and there'd still be room left over, so just keep that in mind. Uh, just remember too, especially with future expansions, we all were shocked on how they fit Wrath in, and look at they used 1 plot of land, a small plot of land, and were able to fit that huge coaster in, so just keep that in mind with future. They can get clever with their additions and take out as little as possible. So just keep that in mind. See, it just I was reading something and it just jumped. Yeah, Anthemines. Yeah, unfortunately, Great Adventure has really gotten the short end of the stick. For those of you that don't know, the attendance has been way down there at the park this year because why would anybody want to go to a park that took out 2 coasters and then like 4 flat rides? It's just, and one of the coasters they took out was at the current time, the tallest and fastest coaster in the world until Six Flags Qiddiya opens. But it's just crazy to me what they did with that park, and now it's been delayed. So next year, uh, attendance is going to be way down. That park has to be losing money compared to the way it used to be. Oh, let's see here. Rusty, I thought they were going to fix the fog this year because for a time being, I thought they were working on the uh, sprayer, the jets, before they turn the water back on for Wrath, because that water over by Wrath also feeds the pond at X Flight. So before they did that, they it looked like they had replaced all the heads on the sprayers down there, and so I thought, oh, they're bringing everything back, but it never came to fruition. So Egg Stock Max Force is not open. It is currently under some major repair, and from my video that I posted, I've gotten more information. I'm just going to keep the information to myself going forward on Max Force and hope that everything is wrong. That's all I'm going to say. No way. Say coaster next video. Great America actually beat Magic Mountain in attendance back in 2005. Yeah, but as we all know from last year too, our park was the highest attended last year in the chain, all the way up to Fright Fest. And then we lost that because there was other parks that were open for Holiday in the Park. So that's pretty amazing that last summer our park was the highest attendant, and that was out of all of the parks, including Cedar Point and all of them. So just keep that in mind. Our park is very busy. Um, this year, it doesn't seem like it's been that busy, but in the past, I've also said the same thing, and then they've broken attendance records. I think we just have so many coasters now at our park that it spreads the people out enough to where the it doesn't really seem busy all the time. Maybe I'm wrong though. Silver Dollar City uses the terrain to enhance the roller coasters. Yes, it's does. There's a sign on Outlaw Run I thought was pretty funny that says something along the lines of, "If you lose a, an item on this ride, it'll be lost forever because there's no way to access the terrain to recover it," or something like that. And I thought that was just hilarious, which is true because it's on the side of steep hills and stuff. So, um, do you think they're going to be doing any more work to American Eagle? I think we possibly will get some information on that on Thursday. I know the park had said in the past that they want to get the coaster racing again. So, hopefully for the 50th, they have plans to do some major rehab on it. We are getting a new kids area, but it's going to be smaller rides. So that doesn't really cost as much as a brand new coaster. Obviously, Wrath was probably $30 million. We'll never know, but I'm guessing it's that around that cost. So they wanted to they announced that they were doing park enhancements too, so we'll have to wait and see what exactly that is. That could include uh some work on Eagle to get it racing. So we'll have to just wait and see. Egg stock, they we don't know if anything's coming to Michigan's Adventure. They haven't announced anything yet, and I think with them selling their passes on for next year and announcing that they were shortening the season, it's closed after Labor Day now. I don't think we can expect anything at Michigan's Adventure. Uh, I do, Scott Divine. I agree with you. I think all the kids areas or the two, if they're putting a new kids area where the go karts are, then remove one of the other ones and combine it with the other one, just to get. I'd like to see Kidzopolis get axed and then move all the stuff that they have there over um, to the camp cartoon area, or maybe those rides are going to get moved into the new kids area because they're not going to buy all new rides. I would imagine some stuff might be relocated from other parts of the park. So we'll just have to get us. Um, Yeah, I don't think not. I think it's going to be a couple years, Rebecca, before we get a replacement for those drop slides. The water park draws so they really don't need to do anything with it right now. Like honestly, and I know a lot of people complain that they want that air land to go back to the dry park. But do you know how much money they make off of that water park? It's a cash cow. So people buy passes just so they can go to the water park. Keep that in mind. There's a lot of people that just go to the water park that never visit the dry park. So they make a lot of money off the water park. What is this insider information you keep bringing up, Great American Enthusiast? I have an inside to uh, the park. I have a source. That's all I'm going to say, and the source is a reliable one. Um, I'll leave it at that. I'm only going to stay on a few more minutes, guys. So if I don't get to your questions, sorry. Let me jump here to see if I can. Quinn J, do you think that they would ever go with that pre-cut wooden track for Eagle and Viper? Viper, I don't think mm, is in need of anything major. They've been doing a small track work on the off season on parts of it here and there. Eagle obviously is way older. I don't know that they would do the pre-cut track. Who knows? I know RMC did work with the company this year to do some work on some of the coasters, or was it bought? I don't even remember. Like honestly, off the top of my head, but I know RMC track was used, not the hybrid, but just regular wood replacement. So we'll have to wait and see. Great America is probably not going to get a thrill coaster for a long time. I agree with you. And for a long time, maybe 2 or 3 years, they're not going to leave. Our park was one of the parks that they announced that they wanted to highly invest in because our park makes so much money. So I guarantee you, it's not going to be long that we have to wait for another big coaster. Maybe 2 or 3 years, but we just got Wrath. So my guess is going to be 2028 and 2029. We may see our next big coaster. James, I do not agree with you on the fast lane system. I hate it. And because you don't have to reserve, they can't control the amount of people that are riding a popular ride. So there's been several times where I've been at Cedar Point on really busy days, and the fast lane for Steel Vengeance is you're still waiting an hour. It's in my opinion, it's not worth it. If you're paying all that money to skip a line, you should be able to skip a line, and that's why I like the digital system we have, because it spaces out and it doesn't allow people in line if there's already too many people. So that's just my opinion. I don't egg stock. We already have a Wild Mouse coaster, and that's the Dark Knight. So I know we used to have Raging Cajun and the Dark Knight, which are basically the exact same coasters, but I don't see them putting another one in. Right. Do I think we'll get stronger Wi-Fi at the park for the park improvement? I no. Which is odd. I don't understand why it's so crappy, because I can see the terminals all over the park. So it's not like the park doesn't have good coverage. It just I don't know. Maybe they're not all turned on. I don't know. I didn't actually know there was anything going on with Roulage, so this is news to me. Although a lot of people are saying, "Oh, they need to take all that out and they could put a smaller coaster in there over by Superman." But I don't know if you guys know this, but we hold the record. Roulage holds the record. It is the largest bumper car floor in the world. I don't know if you guys knew that. That's kind of crazy. I don't. Obviously, they don't talk about it or say anything, but yes, it is the largest bumper car attraction in the world. Tyler, I'll try to do live streams more often. Um, Now that the summer is coming to an end, obviously the parks are going into weekend operation only, so I won't have a lot of stuff that I'm worried about during the week, and work is going to start slowing down too after uh, the next couple weeks. So hopefully, cross my fingers. I thought we were going to slow down before, and we didn't. So Scott Devine, it was Wrath a Good Ride. I've watched a lot of reviews on it, and they have been mixed. I love it. Um, I'm probably biased though because I've wanted a dive coaster in the park since I rode Shikra, its opening year down at Busch Gardens, Tampa. So it was like we need to get one of these. And when Shikra went in, um, they paid extra for it to make sure that B&M wouldn't sell another dive coaster to another American park. And then obviously the second one that went in was at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, Griffin. So they had the uh, only ones in the country at the time. Uh, but it didn't seem like there was a lot of demand for them though back then. Now it seems like more and more people want that more in general public. I know a lot of enthusiasts that hate the dive coaster, absolutely hate it. So, and my personal thing is I love it. I love Wrath. It's probably because it's so new right now. I have to say it's my favorite ride in the park because I enjoy riding it so much. Is it my actual favorite ride in the park? I don't know. But overall, it's a great fit for the park. It's a people eater. We know how fast that line moves. They're running all three trains, so hopefully that keeps up in as the seasons go on. But it's a great ride. I don't mind the outside seats with the rattle. It doesn't bother me. It's nothing like it's nothing like Ninja at Six Flags St. Louis. That's the worst coaster ever. They need to tear that thing down and melt the steel. It's absolutely horrid. The boss is pretty terrible too. I there are so many other coasters out there that are bad. Now, being that it's a brand new B&M coaster and it's not glass smooth, that is sad. But I think we are past the point of B&M coasters being glass smooth. I don't know if it has to do with the price of and metal going up and the way they're manufacturing. They're trying to save money on the trains somehow. I don't know what exactly it is, but I just don't think. I just think we need to stop expecting B&Ms to be that smooth type of coaster anymore. And that's sad to say, but um, it rides like a coaster that has been around for a few years, but it's still smooth enough that compared to other coasters. So I don't have a problem with the bouncing around. My favorite ride on it so far has been on the third row, the far right seat. It's just intense. It feels like it's trying to throw you off of the train after that dive loop, and you start going through the inversions on the side of the midway where this lift hill is on. It's just I felt like I was just going to fly off the coaster the entire time. So I love it. Is Rula Dodge having downtime, or are they just using the staff elsewhere? That could be it too. They may be short staffed and just decided to use the staff in other areas of the park. So just keep that in mind. Sky Striker was only open for a couple minutes today. Well, that's interesting. Egg stock, there's no on ride recording allowed at the park at all. If you get caught, you risk getting banned from the park. So just keep that in mind. And that includes the meta glasses, the any type of recording. It is prohibited by all at all Six Flags entertainment corporations parks. Rusty, I do think Raging Bull is going to be getting a repaint, and let me tell you why. There's a couple of the support columns that are when you're walking up the stairs to go into the station. If you look to the left, it almost looks like there's scrapes on a few of the supports, and that is the first sign of a repaint. And let me tell you why that is. Because what they do is they go in and they scrape the paint off to get down to the bare metal to make sure that the metal isn't rusting underneath the paint and that the metal is still good. So they want to take samples of that throughout the ride to check to see if anything needs to be repaired, so to say. And then they go in and do the repaint. So that's the first sign that I noticed. Unless something they hit it somehow and it just scraped it, but there's a few different areas that are like that. So I think Raging Bull may be getting a repaint. Uh, I would say in the off season, but before we open next year. So just keep that in mind. Oh. Egg stock. Which mic are you talking about? I have this mic. I have two different DJI wireless mics that I bought, and the one of the DJI uh, mic one was $400. This one I think was 100. The other DJ mini mic that I have was 180. I think I don't honestly remember. Um, Obviously, there's really cheap costing mics out there, but you'll notice it in the sound of the mic. Wolfgang '01. You said your train stopped right before the drop. Did they come up to the top of the lift hill? Did they say anything over the speakers? Uh, it's very possible that somebody had their phone out and they noticed it, and that's the reason why the train was stopped. Um, so anytime you see a stop train on a lift hill, most of the time it's because somebody pulled a phone out. I think something happened a couple weeks ago. I think it was at our park on X Flight. Uh, Stopped on the lift hill. Park safety showed up and they walked up and um, scolded somebody, and then waited for them once the ride was over. And the reason they stopped the ride was because the people unbuckled their seatbelts while the ride was going up the lift hill. So people just need to stop doing stupid shit. Pardon my French. Christopher Kennedy, no, I work on the weekends, so I usually don't have actually I take that back. Saturday, I might be at the park Saturday night. I don't work Saturday night, so we'll have to wait and see depending on how I feel. I was planning to go tomorrow, but there's a lot of rain in the forecast, and I have to be at work early in the morning, so I'm going to be up to going, but we'll wait and see. Maybe I'll pop in tomorrow too. I wanted to get there at least one day that the park is open till 10 before that ends, and that ends this coming Sunday. Don't forget this Sunday is the last day the park is open till 10 p.m. Um, uh, Wolfgang, maintenance would always be in the station because when they do a stop like that, they have to come and reset it to get the ride going. That's not something the operators can do on e-stop. That's something that maintenance has to come and reset. Rusty, they're not doing anything in the park for an announcement. So I would imagine usually when they release a press release, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. Um, sometimes even earlier. So we'll more than likely when you wake up in the morning, everything will be out. Even when they announced Wrath, uh they did it like 4 o'clock, maybe it was even 3 o'clock in the morning. All the info came out about it. Then when the park opened, they had that small little ceremony in the park to announce it. Well, I hope I grabbed everyone's questions. I think I did. It was kind of jumping around there for a while. But that's gonna do it for now. It's after 10. I didn't think I was gonna be on this long, but thanks for tuning in, guys. Keep an eye out. I have a couple videos, hopefully that'll be out. One this week. I still have my trip report from Worlds of Fun and Silver Dollar City that I have to put out. So that'll be in the next week or so. And then I have a video coming out on a possible future installation at our park. And I'm sure once the info comes out on Thursday, the official info on the passes for our park, I'll do another video just going over all the details on that. Hopefully, we get some clarity on legacy memberships on how that's going to affect legacy memberships. But I honestly think that they're not going to offer anything to legacy members because they want us to cancel our memberships and buy the new passes so they can just eliminate those memberships altogether. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Uh, don't forget, if you see me in the park, say hi. I'm I will not. I'm not approachable. So come up, say hi. We can talk, have a chat. We can go on a ride if you're in line. Whatever. Just let me know. Thanks, guys. Later.